And after meeting today, the USGA just announcing that Mickelson and other players joining Live Golf are still welcome to play the U.S. Open next week. As for the Ryder Cup, the Live players will not be a part of it. Nichole.
All right, Sloan Glass with that. Thank you. All right, joining us now with more insight on this controversial breakaway tour is Bob Harig, writer at Sports Illustrated. Bob, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, we want to get right into this. You spoke exclusively with Phil Mickelson. So why would he leave the PGA Tour for Saudi Arabia, considering what he said about them in the past?
Yeah, well, you know, what he said and what you had him quoted there saying earlier this year, you know, really the thing that got him in the most trouble was the latter part of that statement when he said he was okay with doing this as long as it helped him gain leverage against the PGA Tour. And really his comments about the PGA Tour are what caused this big problem for him that caused him to go underground. I mean, while Phil might have had some points, you know, not everybody's happy with the place where they work or has issues, things that could be better. His comments were so over the top that it overshadowed some of the things that were probably true. You know, he lost sponsorships over it. And seriously, until I talked to him yesterday, he had not issued any statement. He issued one yesterday saying he was coming back, and then I was able to get him on the phone. First time he's talked in over 4 months. And, you know, the main reason he's doing this, you know, let's be honest, the money is unbelievable. Him and Dustin Johnson are getting huge upfront advances, 100 million plus, that's divided over a few years. The purses for these events are huge. $25 million each of these tournaments, $20 million for the individual portion, $4 million to the winner. I mean, that's a lot more than they play for on the PGA Tour every week. And the PGA Tour is really good, really successful, has a lot of great tournaments, provides a lot of great livings for golfers. So this is just taking it to another level. And obviously the public investment fund banked by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund is it seems to be unlimited.
Yeah, certainly taking it to another level with, you know, those amounts that you just said right there, Bob. So besides Mickelson and Johnson, anyone else that we know of taking this Saudi money?
Yeah, I mean, Sergio Garcia, who's been around for 20 plus years, a very accomplished player, won the Masters in 2017. Martin Keimer's won 2 majors. Lee Westwood is a well-known player in Europe, and he's also played on the PGA Tour. Charles Schwartzel won the Masters. Louis Oosthuizen won the British Open. They've got 6 or 7 past major winners. They've got a bunch of guys who are in the top 100. I mean, not a lot. You know, in terms of sheer numbers, it's not a lot. But I think it's a lot more than people expected it to be. Graham McDowell, who you showed earlier speaking, he won the 2010 U.S. Open, has played both the European and PGA Tour for years. Very popular guy, very well-spoken guy. And as you saw, you know, he had trouble answering the question about the Saudi influence. It's just not that easy of a topic. And yet, I believe there's guys beyond the 48 who are going to play here who would like to do this.
Oh, yeah, you know, certainly some Americans appalled at this, lots of golf fans. Should athletes, though, be expected to weigh in on political or human rights issues?
It's a great question. I mean, you know, I think we kind of applaud the ones that do. You know, it takes some courage. It takes courage to say no. On the other hand, you know, look, this is what they do. Somebody puts a golf tournament up, they're going to go play for money wherever the golf tournament is. In their defense, 7 of the 8 tournaments, not in Saudi Arabia. Okay. At this tournament here outside of London, you would have no idea that there's any Saudi influence just by looking at what's here. Right. There's no signage. There's no Golf Saudi is actually an organization that's trying to grow the game in Saudi Arabia. There's no branding of them. 5 of the events are going to be in the U.S.
Okay.
You know, so look, if it were an American billionaire putting up the money, this would be controversial also because it's a rival. But obviously, where the funding comes from makes it even more controversial.
Yeah, exactly. Not an American billionaire. Okay, really quickly, Bob, did the Saudis really offer Tiger Woods $1 billion?
You know, they probably could. But, you know, nobody's confirmed that in his camp. I do know Tiger twice turned down huge appearance fees to play in the Saudi International Tournament, which used to be a European Tour event, now Asian Tour. A lot of these guys played there earlier this year. Clearly, they would have loved to have had him on board. Given his current physical and health state, 8 tournaments it sort of suits him. Maybe he'd only want to play 4 of them, but it makes some sense that they would offer him a ton of money.
Right.
And it would probably be a lot more than these guys. I don't know if it got that high. I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that.
All right. Well, Bob Harig, you gave us some great information there. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.